Hello friends. So now that you have been known to how to create a table, let us talk about by using create table. Let us talk about another one second DDL command that that is known as alter command that we have talked about even earlier. The second command is alter. As the name indicates, alter is a command that is useful for modifying an existing table or an existing schema. Earlier, we had created a dimension table known shipping mode. There are many alterations we can do in existing table. The alteration can involve adding an attribute, removing the attribute, or even adding or removing a constraint. So you must be remember we talked about entity constraint. We talked about different type of constraint. Now I will show you how to add an entity constraint in the existing table. So you remember one of the special entity constraint is primary key. Primary key constraint. So if I want to add a primary key constraint in existing table using alter command, how can I do that? So you have to use the command as given alter table name and add constraint name and within the bracket whatever the constraint you want to add as like alter table shipping mode add constraint name and as the constraint name it will be primary key and the name of the constraint will be ship mode. So primary you have added the primary key in the given table. Mention the name of a table, then exactly you have to see what exactly modification you want to do. In the table given, we want to add constant primary key and the name of the constant is this. So right now we are seeing add constant. Similarly, you could have done add column. You could have done some removing a column or modifying a column. So many things you could have done. So right now I am saying adding a constant, and once you have said add a constant, if you say add a constant, you have to mention type of constant you want to add like PK, primary key, foreign key or what. In this example, I have said I want to add primary key constant and within the bracket you have specified the constant is applicable. Within the bracket you have named the constant and is applicable to which attribute. It is applicable to ship mode which is already there. So I am saying that ship mode is a primary key for this table. So hopefully you remember what are the implications of declaring something as primary key. What it means that the shipping mode value in this table must be unique and they must never repeat within the column itself too. So the table is added by a primary key and the second thing is that it should never be must on empty. Primary key can't be empty. So that is the alter table. Now you might have create a table at your end after previous session. In that table you should add that constant as primary key. So in this way you have learned about the DDL statements, how to use. In the next segment we are going to start some hands-on DML, some work on with the data because DML are on working with data. DML works on data only. Now I'm going to tell you something new in this video, in this class. See, if we want to make understand some commands to other people, if we are not doing work for ourselves only, we want to show something which is really understandable or readable by some other people too. What we will do, we will use this hyphen here and we will mention what we are going to do. So we have created a table, name this and column with their respective data type. If we really want, we can also add these column name here in next line by using hyphen. and these are DDL statements. Similarly, when we are going to use a second step, we are going to use alter table adding a primary key. So we make here that makeshift mode as the primary key in the above table. So anyone can easily understand for creating table these commands are here and these columns are added, and for adding of primary key in which constant we have added as a primary key, so it is are readable. So we can say SQL is very simple language. It's a statement type of language. By reading this you can easily understand. One more thing I want to tell you, if you want to execute something, see whatever in within the hyphen, it will not be executed, it will not run, it's just a statement. So see, if we are if we want to see, if I want to create database market star schema execute, then by selecting this portion and by selecting this line and click here, entire database will be created. Entire matlab, our database will create end of this. After this you have created this. So in this database we have created a table. In this table we have created a add primary key. So if I will put here and then I will execute, then whole thing will execute. If I will click here and I will click run here, then only this thing will run. This thing will execute. And in whatever I have written here by in within hyphen, that will not be executed, that will be skipped by SQL at their own. This is just a statement, this is not the coding. So let's see. See, market star schema. Okay. I hope you understood how to run the command. See guys, there is no errors. If there will be any error here, we can it will show on this is the error in line number this. So you can edit, you can have modification over there. In next video, we will use DML commands, how to use and what is the application of those commands. I will show you that. Till now, I hope you clear what are the DDL commands and how to use DDL commands. Thank you friends. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe my channel.